Baz Luhrmann's Elvis is quite the stylized yet also mostly respectful telling of the life of Elvis Presley, but it's the performance of Austin Butler that really elevates this film to greater heights. In this video, I'm going to be giving you my spoiler-free review for Elvis, discussing the reasons why I think it's a good movie, but one that is made all the better through the performance of Butler. Before I get into it though, if you want to see more videos on upcoming theatrical releases like Elvis, then don't forget to support this upload by giving it a like rating, subscribing to the channel, and turning on your notifications. Also, feel free to check me out on Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, and Instagram at Cortex Videos, which is all linked in the description below. But without further ado, let's dive into my review for Baz Luhrmann's Elvis. So the brief life of Elvis Presley is not one that calls for a more conventional biopic film, and many have tried to make his story work. In the end, there needed to be a visionary filmmaker who would come along and do something that respects, yet gives us the essence of his life using a particular visual language. It needed to be told with visual storytelling to communicate the core themes and landmarks in this tragic story. Baz Luhrmann is that guy, and he knew that bringing this flair would feel right for a legend that has become more concealed as time has gone on. But the most important element in successfully being able to give us this kind of telling was through finding a star that could fearlessly embody Elvis Presley without making it feel too much like an impersonation. Austin Butler has come along and given us a glorious performance as the icon, inhabiting his every move, mannerism, and inner feeling during every performance and moment in his life. There's a reason that Lisa Marie Presley has praised this particular performance for being the closest to that of her late father. Luhrmann and Butler have created something brilliantly chaotic in an opera of complications, memories, and styles in process of finding the inner truth. And this is why most of the film includes speeding by different dates and locations to the montages of newspaper headlines or historical broadcasts. It's because this film is stylized in a way that almost makes you feel uncomfortable from seeing the extreme retelling by Tom Hanks' Colonel Parker, because when you reach the fantastic final moments of Elvis during one of his last performances, seeing that transition into reality and then also that final text on screen, you feel like you understand the king that little bit more. Luhrmann and his screenwriters go into Elvis and his early acts of rebellion in the face of politicians, the death of his mother, the assassinations of Martin Luther King and the Kennedys, the 1968 comeback special, and how his Las Vegas residency was a golden cage. And yet through all of these moments, the filmmaker is able to tell the full story of Elvis from beginning to end and make you attached to what that man felt all the more sincerely. And again, it's all propelled by Austin Butler's sensational performance from age 17 onwards, capturing his early and quick rise to fame to being the most famous performer in the world. We see this through the eyes of his controversial manager and promoter, Colonel Tom Parker, a man who did not know much about music, but saw what Elvis could do to an audience with his blend of musical knowledge and style, and he knew that there was money to be made off of him. We see the manipulative hold that he had, and as Parker tries to tell his side of things, we never really hear the truth because most of it is the lies surrounding his hold over the star. And when that fully develops and you see the motion and feelings that Austin Butler brings to his performance, you relate to and understand Elvis more as the film goes on. Austin Butler's take on the iconic music star is half an impersonation and half original. His physical and vocal traits are electric, electrifying, and you see why he spent years watching every bit of footage to learn exactly how to perform like him. But it's the added emotional depth that he infuses into a lot of the later acts that really elevate his performance and the film as a whole. Right from the moments where Elvis wanted to sing and dance the way he wanted to, and do it in the face of all the politics that tried to bring him down, and then later with the comeback special and performances at the Las Vegas residency, where we see the cage that Elvis is in. It really is moving to see someone who wants to bring joy and magic to all of these audiences being constantly held back, told who to be and where to perform. Butler really got to the heart of that, and in all of Luhrmann's close-ups and frenetic cutting, we're able to feel just as confused and held back as the King of Rock was. And then he always broke through that, and like he says in one of his many performances, we see the real Elvis. It's a tribute to Elvis Presley's innovative persona, his deep passion for combining blues, country and gospel music, and the intensity of his relationship to the audience. His inspiration from black musicians and the struggles of being so famous during the social politics that went on help you to really feel what Elvis went through, and this is mainly captured in the many stage moments that defined who he was. Butler communicates the stage triumphs of Elvis with such subtlety as the actor grows from the 50s to the 70s with such believability, and he never appears to look out of place or overwhelmed with prosthetics or aided by CGI. There's no silly impressions too, it's just the true heart of Elvis through the way he performs, and I think after this, Austin Butler's career will definitely explode. He's already playing the iconic Fade Rother in Dune Part 2, and after seeing him completely transform into Elvis Presley, I'm fully on board with seeing what he does in Denis Villeneuve's film next year. His performance as Elvis is one that I already think will be in contention for many award nominations. While Elvis is a really enjoyable and tragic film, it also does have a flaw, and that comes in the performance of Tom Parker. With most of the long runtime dedicated to the pitfalls of his fame and meeting Priscilla, we also see the moments where he sleeps around on tour, does pills, and ultimately the destructive relationship with his manager. He pushes him to lose the true Elvis identity, and we really see the extent to what that grasp had over the icon. While the performance of Butler adds great depth and emotion to this situation, the performance of Tom Hanks is one that goes the other way. It's quite off-putting and distracting, with moments that don't quite hit the mark in relation to others. I think it's just a case of miscasting, and like with Baz Luhrmann, you'll either love or hate certain choices when it comes to the presented style. But other than with Hanks, I quite liked a lot of the other choices, and the adaptation of the character itself did do its job in making me hate his grasp on Elvis. And for all of its flaws and questionable choices, I think it's key to note that the filmmaker's work does thrive in the spectacle that he always brings. You feel every weight that is put on Elvis in the weight of this massive story, and Luhrmann's very distinct style can feel like a breath of fresh air at times, especially when we get the essence of a traditional biopic too. Elvis is an enjoyable and emotive ride that does swing for the fences, and I have to admire many of the choices that were made, especially in that of casting Austin Butler. But that was my spoiler-free review for Elvis. Baz Luhrmann's film is a great stylized telling of the star, but again, it's really in Butler that we see the staple of a great film. Elvis explores how Presley was often only himself when he had an audience, and like the King of Rock, Butler bounces to life when he's placed under the spotlight through every move, note, or expression. He manages to avoid falling into satire and gets to the heart of what was weighing on Elvis at the time. He nails every aspect of his life through this role and makes us emotionally understand him to a greater degree. I'm excited to see how this performance will be received in the weeks to come by others too, but I think for me, this is definitely one of the very best of this year, showing an actor transform and develop over time through every detail he brings in his performance. I'm giving Elvis a rating of 8.5 out of 10. But to those who have already seen the film, what did you think of Baz Luhrmann's Elvis, and do you agree that it's a good film, elevated even further by the performance of Austin Butler? Let me know down below in the comment section. For lots more videos surrounding this summer's upcoming releases, then subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Also, if you enjoyed this video, remember to leave a like rating and follow me on social media via the links in the description. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I've been Cortex, and as always, make some noise.